You need this book, because this book will tell you now how the Muslims are thinking, so you can plan your strategies. If you know the man's book, so the Muslim needs it, and to the Muslim I'm suggesting that get this volume as quick as possible. It's the best investment you can make in your life. The best investment I made was to buy this book in 1935. In 1935, it cost me £5. I'm sorry, I beg your pardon. It cost me £2.10 shillings. £2.10 shillings. That was 50% of my wages. Half my month's salary, I was getting £5 a month, and I paid £2.10 for it. 50. I have no regrets. Wallah, no regrets. He changed my life, and all this what I'm doing is because of reading this book. You ought to. My dear brothers and sisters, I suggest that you get this book and look up this subject, Jesus, his birth. His birth. The Qari, the reciter, he read these verses from the Holy Quran. And the young man, the translator, he translated it. But to make you to absorb that message, I will repeat them for you. But what I recommend is that you get this volume, look up the birth of Jesus, and memorize the verse. Memorize the verse, the ayah in Arabic. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وَإِذْ قَالَتِ الْمَلَائِكَةُ يَا مَرْيَمُ, with the meaning. With the meaning. So behold, the angel said, O Mary, inna Allah astafaki, Allah has chosen thee, wa taharaki, and purified thee, wastafaki ala nisa'il alameen, chosen thee above the women of all nations. Mary, the mother of Jesus, is described in the Quran as a woman chosen above the women of all nations. And I'm saying that this honor, this high honor, is not to be found given to Mary, the mother of Jesus, even in the Christian Bible, whether the Protestant version or the Roman Catholic version. I have them both. Nowhere you find anything like this. It continues. Ya Maryam uknuti li rabbiki wasjudi warka'i ma'arraqi'in. So, O Mary, worship thy Lord devoutly. Prostrate thyself and bow down in prayer with those who bow down. ذَلِكَ مِنْ أَنْبَاءِ الْغَيْبِ نُوحِيهِ إِلَيْكَ. This is part of the tidings of the things unseen, which we reveal unto thee, O messenger by inspiration. Memorize the meaning side by side. And once you have done that, the blessings, you know, every time we utter the words of the Quran, we are told that for every letter of the Quran that you utter, we get 10 sawabs, blessings. When we say Alif Lam Mim, this word, these letters, Alif Lam Mim is not a word. Our Prophet said it's not a word. There are 3 letters. Alif, separate. Lam, separate. Mim, separate. Alif, Lam, Mim. That's the beginning of Surah Baqarah, the 2nd chapter. Alif, Lam, Mim. It says, when you say Alif, Lam, Mim, for every letter you get 10 sawabs, blessings. When you say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, if you count the letters, there are 19. You get 190 sawabs, blessings. Each and every one of you are hearing it, you get 190 each. I get 190, and each and every one of you get 190. This is the one you have to do business with Him, with Allah. بِغَيْرِ hisab. You don't have to keep count. You just keep on, let Him keep the account. On the day of judgment, inshallah, Allah will give it to you. So, my brothers and sisters, you repeat these words. I haven't counted the letters. وَإِذْ قَالَتِ الْمَلَائِكَةُ يَا مَرْيَمُ. I didn't count them. I said, let Him keep the account. Allah, let Him keep the account. You just do your job. So blessings. Then when you repeat, when you're translating it, and when you're pronouncing these words and memorizing it, your English improves. Because this is not a part of your ordinary vocabulary. Behold, see, the angel said, O Mary, God has chosen thee and purified thee, chosen thee above the women of all nations. New construction of sentences, new vocabulary, this is all yours. Blessings. And you find an opportunity for practicing this. This is an ocean of Christianity, like my country, South Africa. It's an ocean of Christianity. Whichever way we look as a Christian, our fellow workers, our employers, our employees, our neighbors, Christians, Christians, Christians. Now, create an opportunity. Your neighbors. I'm talking to my sisters now. Your neighbors, your Christian neighbors. Wish them well. Every morning you say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And before long, invite them home for a cup of tea. Say, come, Mary, Elizabeth, come and have tea with us. Bring the children along. And I tell you what our tea and our samosas, our tea and our bhajias can do. You can't imagine. The Malays in South Africa, they give tea and kusistas. I don't know whether you know those things. You might have some specialities of your own. You know, you Muslim ladies from Indonesia and from Malaysia and from Bangladesh and where not. You also have, and Lebanon, your sweet meats. Look, we have our specialities, each and every one. And each and every one of our specialities is unique. Feed them. Give it to them and see how you enslave them. I tell you, my people in South Africa, with our food, we enslave the white man, the African, the colored, the other Indian, because our tastes are different. Our cooking is different from the other Indian. Man, everybody, he hogs it. Our food, is irresistible. Wallah, I tell you. You enslave the people with food. There is no better way to get in the heart of a man than through his stomach. I'm telling you, there is no better way. Now, I will start telling you now the experience of our Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This is what the example he set, but nobody talks about it. But now, I'm telling you, do this exercise. Call this your neighbors, and while having tea, he says, sister, have you seen the Quran? She says, no. Would you like to have a look at it? She must say, have you got an English translation? He said, yes. No. Nobody says he doesn't want to see. It's the nature of man. We are all inquisitive by nature. We want to know. So let us see. You bring the Quran, open it, chapter 3, verse 42. And if you can read Arabic, read it to them. Read this Arabic to them. You don't know what this Arabic is doing to them. This is Allah's kalam. It shakes up people, friends and foe alike. It shakes them up. And Allah tells us in the Quran, He says that when our verses are recited to them, the sincere person says tears well up in their eyes. Really, I've seen it. The Roman Catholic especially. You recite the Quran. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وَإِذْ قَالَتِ الْمَلَائِكَةُ يَا مَرْيَمُ. And translate. Ya Maryam. And on. Translate it for them. Let them hear. And this will not convert them. A lifetime of rust, what has gathered, and prejudice. You can't remove this with a cup of tea and the kusistas. But, man, share it with them. Tell them that this is what the Quran says about your Jesus. That he is one of the mightiest messengers of God. We believe in his miraculous birth. In these verses that I read, it speaks about his miraculous birth. And I had an experience in 1977. In 1977, I was planning to go to Indonesia. I haven't reached there yet. This is my Indonesian brothers. If they're here, they can know. From 1977, I'm trying to get into Indonesia, a Muslim country. But I have failed so far. 77. But as soon as I make up my mind to go to a foreign country, I want to master a bit of that nation's language. That's a hobby. It's an obsession with me. Like that, I can give you some 20 different languages. You think I'm bluffing you? What do you want to hear? Spanish, French, Sudanese. Sudanese, the language of the Dinka, John Garang. They're at war. The language of the Dinka, Swahili, English, Afrikaans, Zulu. What do you want to hear? Hebrew. What do you want to hear? Indonesian. I wanted an Indonesian Bible to master a few words of the Indonesian. So I went to the Bible house in Durban. Every city in South Africa has got a Bible house where they specialize in Bibles in different languages. I want an Indonesian Bible. They said they haven't got it. Okay. I said, try Johannesburg. They might have it. So when I went to Johannesburg, I go to the Bible house in Johannesburg. And I go and search for this Indonesian Bible. And I got it. And I'm looking in the shelves, some other books. I see a New Testament, Greek and English. Like we have the Quran, Arabic and English, Greek and English, the New Testament. I took that big volume out and I'm starting to go through that. And the supervisor of the Bible house is watching me. You know, with this funny headgear and this beard. He says, what this guy is doing with all these expensive volumes, because this was an expensive volume in which I took down Greek, English of the New Testament. So he comes up to me, he says, good morning. I said, good morning.